everyone. So just our finale of our show, our special guest today is a world-class sleight-of-hand artist, author, and speaker. According to a lengthy profile in the New Yorker magazine, Jamy Ian Swiss, widely thought to have one of the most masterly sleight-of-hand techniques in the world. You may have seen him on one of his TV appearances, including The Today Show, The Late Late Show. He's a producer of New York's Monday Night Magic, of which I've been a fan for over 20 years. Now in its 21st year, I didn't realize that. Author of 5 books, writer, magic designer for other prominent magicians, and here for you today, including magic and a comedy duo for his friends Penn and Teller. I'm excited to welcome the James Bond with a deck of cards for a pistol, Jamy Ian Swiss.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I hope you're all ready for a magic show. And the first thing I'm going to ask you all to do is a lot of people who've been watching without their video on, and it would be great if you all turn on your video cameras right now so I can see everybody who's in the audience. And you know, I know it seems like it's an impossible idea to do magic over video, but that's exactly what we're going to try and do. Thank you, folks, for putting on your cameras. And the first thing people ask about is trick photography. You know, what could be going on here? Special editing, special effects. Maybe there's a whole crew off camera. Maybe there's a tiger under the table. There is a tiger under the table. But for a moment, just keep your eyes right on that lousy poker hand. There's 5 cards there. Not much of a poker hand to bet on, but watch. No trick photography. And now that is a royal, straight, flush, in spades. No trick photography. Just 2 hands, 5 ordinary cards, and magic. And we are ready for the impossible magic show. A couple of things I need to tell you. Up in the corner there, it's on the right, upper right corner, it says, if it says speaker view, that means that's what you are not in. It means you're in gallery view. And if it says gallery view, it means you're in speaker view. And so what that means is that right now, you should switch to gallery view, to speaker view, I'm sorry, to speaker view, which means it'll say gallery view up there, if they're in speaker view, right? I think that's what it is, so that you can all see me in a large picture. That's the whole idea. Sometimes you want to see me in a large picture, sometimes you want to see everybody else in the group, and I'll tell you about that. Also, this is the impossible magic show, because all magic's impossible, but this should be even more impossible, but I can't hear you. So in order to react to me, if you think that's impossible or that's amazing or that's incredible, you just give me that gesture and then I'll know that that's what you're saying. Exactly. There's Bonnie doing it and Diane, thank you very much. And if you're applauding at the end, I can't hear that either. So you can just wave your hands like this. Give yourselves a round of applause for hanging in here with me. Thank you. Terrific. You guys are great. You're going to be great. So right now, on this theme of impossible, I'm going to show you an impossible card trick. And you know, I think it's a magician's job to show you things you've never seen before and you may never see again, but things you may have heard of before. For example, just by a show of a hand like this, how many have heard of marked cards? Marked cards, cards with secret markings people use to cheat. So a few of you have heard of that, but very few people have actually seen or handled a deck. Has anyone handled a deck of marked cards ever? No, see, now it's very difficult. It takes years of expertise and practice to be able to detect marked cards. This is kind of a beginner's version. Remedial magic, okay. So that's a little joke, but these are not your ordinary marked cards. These are strange. They're marked on the edges like this. I know that looks weird, but I can show you something really interesting with that. But it's very important first that I establish that this deck is not in any special order. This is the least entertaining part of the entire show, but it's actually important. I'm going to show you these cards here. They're in no order. I can't even see them, but there's no groups of cards in numerical order or the same color or the same suit, anything like that. It's just basically random wherever it ended up last time I left it. So with that in mind, let's see. How about Bobby? Can you, Bobby, hit your space bar and then I'll be able to hear you. Bobby, if you just hit your space bar, I'll be able to hear you. Just hit it one there. And just keep it on. There you go. Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Great. Bobby, can you see these cards? In order to make this a fair selection, I'm going to run my thumb down the center of the deck, and you can stop anytime.
Now.
And now, just to make it fair, you want me to stay right there or go for a little further or start over again?
Oh, stay right there.
Stay right there. Okay, very good. So take a look at that. Everybody remember Bobby's card. I'm not going to do anything sneaky with it. I'm just going to put it back in the deck just like that. Now, this is the point, of course, at which most magicians would begin to shuffle the cards. But I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to try and unshuffle these cards. And remember I said I was going to try and show you something that you'd never seen before and you may never see again. Hope I'm in frame here. And you may never see again. Well, I'm going to make good on that promise right now, because as I coalesce the cards, if you look closely, it now says the word impossible 4 times on the side of that pack. 4 times for amazing, fun, engaging, and memorable, all features of the Impossible Magic Show. Also 4 times because I'm unshuffling the deck into the 4 suits: clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. Now here I go. I'm going to try and give this deck another unshuffle and see if I can go even further with this. And now as I coalesce the deck, watch this. You can now see it even in the cheap seats, can't you? It now says impossible twice, because the Impossible Magic Show is interactive and it's also connecting. And that's what we're all looking for these days, is connection, isn't it? It's also unshuffling the deck into the 2 colors. And now if I give the deck one final unshuffle, I should now have a deck that's completely unshuffled, and sure enough, it says impossible right there. But before you say that's amazing or start to applaud, there's still another question, because what does it mean to say that a deck is unshuffled? I've been unshuffling the deck. You see me shuffle it all over and over again. But remember I showed you the cards were in no particular order? Well, watch this, kids. Ace, 2, 3 of hearts, in numerical order: ace through the king of hearts, ace through the king of clubs, king through the ace of diamonds, king through the ace of spades. That's a deck in what we call new deck order. And of course, that's really impossible. That's order from chaos. But one last question. Bobby, what was your card?
The 8 of hearts.
The 8 of hearts, and we'll bring this into focus.
Oh my God.
And there it is, the 8 of hearts, and that's impossible. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Great. Now, as strange as that was, thank you. You folks are terrific. We're going to go even further here, something even more impossible. We're going to try some mind reading over this connection. And to begin with, I'm going to send some thoughts out to you, and we're going to try and see who are the good receivers among you. And you should all be in gallery view for this, by the way, so that you can see as many faces as possible. Okay, you should be in gallery view. And I'm going to try and send some things out to you. And when I snap my fingers, that's the moment that you put down your first impression. If you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, it's great to write it down. You don't have to, but it's great to write it down to show people afterwards. So here we go. I'm going to begin by sending you a 2-digit number in a moment. And to just give you a little hint, it's going to be, make it a little easier, it's going to be 2 digits where both digits are odd, and they're both different from one another. So in other words, 11 is both odd, but they're the same. 15 would work. They're both odd and they're different. And now the first 2-digit number like that comes into your mind now. And if you have a piece of paper and a marker, just write that down. And now we're going to go from numbers to shapes. Simple geometric forms. I'm going to try and send you a simple geometric form, you know, like a square or rectangle, something like that. And I want you to draw outside of your number the first geometric shape that comes to your mind right now. And we'll even try that one more time, even outside of that one, like the most outermost frame, and I'm going to send you one more simple geometric shape now. All right. So not everyone is going to get this. We're going to see how people did as recipients, as recipients. My sending thoughts to you. And hold on, actually, I should put this down here just so that I can show you. Give me just a moment. Sorry, I should have done this already. Well, okay. And to begin with, the number that I was thinking of was the number 37. By a show of hands, how many got 37? Anybody get 37? Okay, I can see a couple there. I can't see the other screen. Is there folks on the other screen? And I'm going to go back. Not too many videos there on the other screen. Okay, and as far, I sent two shapes. I sent a triangle and a circle. How many got one of those at least? Triangle and a circle. Oh, I see a lot of hands there. Did anybody get both of them? Oh, I got a few people who got both of them too. And you know, it occurred to me, even though I have 37 there inside of my circle and triangle, actually, I first thought of 35 and I changed it. Who got 35? Where did you get 35? Yes, there were. Jenny got 35 there. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Most of you got at least one of the images that I sent out to you. That's pretty strong. That's pretty great. And now I need someone, I'm going to try something even more difficult. I'm going to try and read someone's mind right there. Hey, Mary Ann, let me ask you a question there. Mary Ann Snow, have you got a smartphone handy? Are you pretty quick with a smartphone? And do you have good reception? Great. Could you turn on your audio for me?
Sure.
And you folks go into speaker view now, actually, if you want, if that's convenient for you, and you'll be able to see us as we talk to each other here. So, Mary Ann, I'm going to try something very difficult now, which is to try and read your mind right through this connection. It may not work. I hope you guys will bear with me. I have one thing to show you after this, no matter what. But we'll give it a try if you'll help out. And just to show you demonstrate to everyone how difficult this is. Do you use Wikipedia much? You probably do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you use it a lot.
If I was to ask you now, I didn't prepare you for this. If I was to ask you to take a wild guess, how many total articles there are in Wikipedia? Just a wild guess, total number. What would you say?
Yeah, I don't even know what that, I once you get past trillions, zillions, gazillion, it's like stratosphere.
Right. Okay. A stratospheric number. Well, actually, the truth is we can find out. If you would go to your browser and just punch in how many articles in Wikipedia or wiki article count, anything like that. Now, the first thing that comes up is some graphs from Wikipedia that are hard to read. So just look down a little further and you should see wiki count.
Yeah, 6,081,295 articles.
Wow, wow. Okay, and while you're there, stay on that screen. While you're there, does it also tell you the average number of words per article?
Hold on a second.
Go back to your original search, please, because this is why I asked you for a particular site, because it'll give us everything I'm asking for. So go back to your original search, how many articles in Wikipedia? And then look for the window that says wiki count.
Yep.
And hit that. And now that'll show you the number that you just gave me, 6 million articles plus, right? But then it also gives you average number of words per article. How many is that?
1,175 words per article.
1,175, which I'm going to put in my calculator here. And if you, meanwhile, Mary Ann, would hit visit Wikipedia right there and just wait for me for just a moment. Now, I put in that number of words times 6 million, and I have 7 billion words in Wikipedia. Over 6 million articles, over 7 billion words. That's how difficult this is when I'm going to try now with Mary Ann here. So Mary Ann, just hit visit Wikipedia. Oh, you already did that, right? And now I'd like you to put in any search that you want in the Wikipedia search window there. In other words, it could be person, place, or thing. It could be animal, vegetable, mineral. It could be something you know a lot about, something you don't know anything about. And just punch that search in.
Okay.
And you've gone to that entry?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. And think about that, animal, vegetable, and mineral. Is it mineral?
No.
No, I'm not getting the vibe from you on this. Like I said, this might not work. So I'm just going to move along so I don't take up too much of everybody's time. I'm going to try. Marianne, thanks for your help. Not your fault. Difficult thing to do. We're going to just try one last thing here that everybody I can see on the screen is going to be involved in. I have in this box an invisible deck of cards. And I'm going to take this deck out and I'm going to hand it. I'm going to keep the deck in my picture here so that you can see it. In fact, I'll keep it in my hand. And I'm going to start to hand it off to you people. How about Rachel? We'll start with Rachel. Rachel, would you take that deck from me? Perfect, perfect. And give it a little shuffle for me. Nicely done, nicely done. And now if you could hand it down to Trina right below you. Trina, are you there to take this deck of cards from Rachel? Excellent. Have you got it? Great. Give it a little shuffle. Beautifully done. And right below you is Lainey. And Lainey will take that for you. Hi, Lainey. Take that deck of cards. Everybody should be in gallery view so you can see this. And you should cut those cards, Lainey. We always shuffle and we cut just out of fairness, right? Great. And Mary, are you there? Mary Piper, are you live with us? Oh, great. Lainey, hand that over to Mary right next to you, actually. Great, and Mary's got it. Mary will give it a little shuffle or a cut, whichever one you prefer. You guys are doing the best. If Marcel Marceau was here, he'd be really impressed. Of course, I'd be impressed because he's been gone a long time. And then, let's see, Mary, now as we get down to the last few people here that I see on video, tell you what, Mary, if you would turn your mic on for me, and I'm going to ask you to begin with here, what color do you want us to use, red or black?
Black.
Black. And hand those cards over to, I don't know your name, but in Mass Innovation, whoever you are. And would you hand over the deck to her? And ma'am, would you put your mic on so I can hear you?
Yep.
Hi, what's your name?
Mimi.
Mimi, hi Mimi. Mimi,
Hey.
do me a favor. Give those cards a little mix. And Mary said red, I think. Is that right, Mary? Did you say red?
I said black.
Oh, you said black. Ah, you caught me. Okay, so we'll go with black. So Mimi, do me a favor. Black means clubs or spades. So you get to choose clubs or spades.
Clubs.
Sorry?
Clubs.
Clubs. Great. Hand that deck up to Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Do you see me there? Hand that deck up to Bonnie. Bonnie, take those cards. Turn your mic on for me. Give those cards a little mix. And now we're in clubs. Do you want high or low cards?
High.
High. And do you want that to include the 7 from 7 up or from 8 up?
7 up.
7 up. And Bonnie, you get to hand over the deck down to Brian here. Brian, take the deck from Bonnie. Thank you very much. Give him. And now, Brian, you have an important job.
Okay.
We said black. We said clubs. We said high cards. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Which one of those high cards do you want, Brian?
I'll go with the queen.
You go with the queen. I want you to
Yeah.
look through that invisible deck very quickly, Brian, and take out the queen of clubs. And turn it around so it faces the other way from all the other cards and just stick it in the deck there somewhere. And give the deck a little mix. Give the deck a little mix to make it random. And very carefully just hand that deck off to me. I got it. Now, the hardest part of this, I'm going to take this invisible deck you've all shuffled and cut and handled. I'm going to put it back in the box here, and I'm going to make that deck reappear. Okay, it's not the most amazing part. But now, very slowly, very fairly, this box has been in your view since we began. And I'm going to go through these cards one at a time, and you'll see they all face the same way. Mary said black. Mimi said clubs. Bonnie said high. Brian said the queen of clubs. Can you see that only one card is facing the other way? I'm showing you every single card here. Only one card faces the other way. And that is the Queen of Clubs. And
Yay!
that's impossible.
Right on time too, Jamie.
Thank you very much, folks. Thanks for taking part in the
Thanks,
Impossible
Jamie.
Magic Show. My name is
Jamie,
Jamy
thank
Swiss.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, everybody.